Hello, associates, and we are here to talk about Suits Season 7, Episode 3, Mudmare. It's here, it's loud, it's live, it's next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
And there.
Where were you last week?
I love the shimmy show.
Because last week we weren't doing this.
We did not. Yeah, we didn't get the show. The
I
shimmy.
feel like you kind of have to
memo.
mumble to the song too.
There are only like 4 words to this song.
I have like 0 rhythm, I swear to God.
It's a good song. Great theme song.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Suits After Show. I'm your host, Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is Kaufmann. We are full strength here at... There are a lot of managing partners at this law firm now. I can't name them all. Starting to my far left.
What's up? I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can send all complaints, all grievances to Josh_Rodriguez_ on Twitter, on Instagram. Let's debate. I love it. I love
To his right.
Am I at your right?
Yeah, that's
okay.
you.
I'm at his right,
He
apparently.
loves it.
Hey guys, it's Lina Noory. You can find me on Instagram at Lina Noory and on Twitter at Lina Noory_. Send me your thoughts. I am Team Donna. If you're not, bye.
And to my left.
I am JB. You guys can find me at Hey John Blake. Please direct all hate mail there as well. I wouldn't commit to any team. Especially with this episode, kind of flip flops with a lot of people's teams.
I'm steadfast on Team Donna.
Really? Okay. I'm Team Harvey.
I was unfaltered last week. There was a lot going down.
Wait, can I make a clarification? Can we send all hate mail to Steven?
No,
no one hates
Everybody.
No, they hate the new people. I'm telling you. I know how it works here at AfterBuzz. They hate new faces, but it's okay.
Steven!
I mean, we can chant my name all we want. That's perfectly fine. Also, I did want to point out that you and I started AfterBuzz on the exact same night.
Oh, wow.
You and I.
Yeah.
We did.
Marin
Yes.
AfterShow.
Marin. April of like 2013 or something.
Love it.
That
Way
long.
back Wednesday.
Dedication,
it's a
guys.
long time.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
This episode's called Mudmare because it starts with a mudmare.
It does. It does. It's the best like fusion word ever. I mean, I wrote Nightmare, and when he said Mudmare, I was like, well, that's
Can we talk
Lewis.
about that scene?
I definitely called it was a dream, by the way. I was like,
You were first.
Never in a million years. would
Harvey
happen.
would never be in there. Lewis for sure. Harvey, no.
Well, like there are certain things in this show that are like endgame.
Yeah.
Like Harvey and Donna are like, so the show's over now because there's no more conflict or will they want? It's like no, they're together now.
I'm gonna protest Darby forever.
Me too, but
I
think we all know that it's probably endgame. Similarly, like Harvey mudding with Lewis, like that's endgame. Like that's how the show ends. Mm-hmm. Like that's a loose end you tie up at the finale. So to start with it is very fascinating, because I also said that that Mike going to jail for not being a real lawyer. I'm on record for saying that's also endgame. So this show does whatever it wants in that regard, and I love it for it. But I think we were all right. This was a dream.
Poor Lewis.
Yeah.
Lewis.
I mean, what he was saying in the bath. Like, what's wrong with this guy?
I mean, he clearly has issues that he needs to spend a lot more time with Dr. Lipschitz.
Dr. Lipschitz is the best.
Way more sessions. It needs to be like twice a day, at least.
I'm interested to see or hear what Lipschitz has to say about his relationship with Harvey and his feelings towards Harvey. And not that I'm saying it's a homosexual type thing, but like it's kind of like an unhealthy attraction. And I'm not saying sexual attraction. I just mean like some type of this relationship with Harvey. He worships him, he hates him, he loves him like this every episode.
Harvey even said he's a crush on him.
It's just weird.
It's a professional crush.
Yeah.
He idolizes
that's good for
in a definitely
in an unhealthy way. It's like hero worship.
Sure.
It's hero worship. I think
It
that's a good way to say it.
He's man-crushing him.
Yeah.
Man-crushing
But I
him.
want to hear like what a therapist has to say about it.
Right.
I want to hear the
But I mean, like
diagnosis.
to that point, I mean, yes, I do agree with you. It's completely unhealthy. That being said, if like Harvey's basically like the Michael Jordan of lawyering. Like if you were on the Bulls and that team were like playing with like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, like.
But
there might be a little like something. Obviously everybody else is very good, but it's like hard to be in that presence of such awesomeness,
Right.
And not.
And the Lewis character is fascinating because it's the equivalent to like if we're with the Michael Jordan analogy. Let's assume Dennis Rodman, being good enough to be on the Bulls with Michael Jordan, is obsessed with Michael Jordan.
Right.
It's
Like that's
totally
Lewis.
awkward.
Yeah. No,
That's the best way to get into it with Lewis.
Does that happen? I don't even know if that really happens. Where you get that emotionally attached to someone like that.
If you're it's a certain level.
I
of
mean,
emotional
It's
stability.
definitely unstable in some ways. Lina.
You know, I'll
Yeah.
speak on my behalf
Yeah,
of someone
please.
that has been around people that, you know, they'll say they have their insecurity and stuff. I feel like Louis is like the epitome of what insecurity is. And he looks at Harvey as everything he wants to be.
Yep.
Which is ironic because Louis has such an incredible personality. He's an amazing attorney. As an individual, he's a diehard friend. He'll do absolutely anything for you. But yet he looks at Harvey, and I think it's a combination of the fact that, I mean, come on, he walks into a room, and even when they were going to like the merger, everyone's talking about the way Harvey looks. Oh, you're so good looking. Oh, those eyes. Oh, this. And then he can get any girl he wants. Like, Louis's end-all, be-all has always been a woman. So I think he looks at Harvey, maybe in that respect, like, he's an incredible attorney. You know, people look up to him for his looks. And then on top of that, he can get any woman he wants. And Louis kind of lacks in that department when it comes to females. Let's be real.
But he lacks in that department because he's comparing.
Because
like,
of it, what he's in his head.
Well, because he's comparing himself to others. That
Yeah.
like, there's two types of ways to attract women.
Yes.
There's the negative way that like a lot of the players you would say. The
But women
pickup
love confidence.
Like the pickup artists, like, but that confidence comes from self-loathing. Louis is actually closer to attracting women that way than he is from self-loving.
Yeah.
There are two ways, but because the way negging happens is, I hate myself so much that you must hate yourself to want to be attracted to me.
Yeah, he's an incredible catch. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, if he wasn't so busy obsessing over Harvey and wanting to be Harvey, I think he's an incredible catch. He just is in his own head. And women see his insecurity comes off.
Well, he's also like recovering from a bad breakup. Like Tara was the love of his life, and like he was about to father like a child that wasn't even his because he loved her so much.
He was lashing out at her.
Right. Well, he just you know, he's very emotional. Like he to me is just the extreme. Like as far as that goes, like on both sides, good and bad. He's got extreme empathy. When Mike told him that, like he couldn't have cared more. Like he got his back 1,000%. So that's, you know, definitely the good side of being that in touch with your emotions. Obviously, kind of got away from it as we saw at the end.
Well, he broke down.
Yeah, he completely and kind of went into this whole like role playing thing that wasn't even, you know, like set up by Dr.
Are we skipping straight to that scene? Can we talk about it?
Oh, we're doing all the
'cause
Louis stuff.
That was kind of like, I don't want, maybe borderline suicidal, like the way.
I know, yeah,
it's
definitely
it was
ended
like,
on a
you know,
cliffhanger,
if
sure.
I'm on the phone with him, I'm a therapist or even a friend. If he hangs up, I'm like, okay, I'm really
All
scared
right.
for his safety.
I'm
right
calling
now.
people who are close to
Yeah,
him.
like make sure he's okay. Make sure Louis, you know, is in the right mindset, because that was the way to end that conversation. Was, I don't know, it was scary. I don't like it.
Louis's insecurities are so dangerous because there's such a fine line between love and hate with him. It's like when Harvey was describing, and they were in the bar scene, Harvey and Alex, and he's describing how Louis is to Alex.
Yeah.
He says he's gonna love you, he's gonna hate you, and then he wants to be you. And it's just that Louis is just too much. Like, you know, even back in the last season when he's sitting on the couch with Tara, and I said this in the last episode, he's opening up to her about the whole situation with Mike, and she was a little bit judgmental. He turns around and he goes, well, look at you, look at your life. You did this, and you're like this, and you have a kid by a man like this. And it's like, he lashes out to everybody, to his psychiatrist, to his coworkers, to Stephanie, which, I mean, now I'm thinking after this episode, she deserved that, but no, I'm kidding. She didn't deserve that. She definitely didn't deserve it. I'm just kidding. Don't, look, you're already at it. I'm just kidding.
That's a good point, though. I feel like
it's begun.
Yeah, no,
How
I
dare
mean,
she?
We were talking about the like the 7 stages of Louis, which I love that term, and also like he doesn't have an outlet really for that rage. I mean, rage was literally 2 out of the 7 stages of Louis. Was just rage.
What were the 7?
And I mean, he used to have like this everyday ability to like get that out of his system with the associates. Obviously, he should not have been taking it out on them.
Right.
But that at least allowed him to like alleviate some of that from bubbling to the surface. Now that it's kind of being bottled up, it's exploding out everywhere.
Yeah, he should learn to compartmentalize.
Yes.
Maybe he should go to
More
the
Dr. Lipkins.
he should go to the boxing gym that Harvey goes to.
Should.
I can imagine him boxing.
This has come up on this panel
Just
before.
mudding is not working.
It's come up on this panel before over who would win in a fight.
Well, he did get the better of Mike a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, and the argument I always make about like who would win in a fight, Harvey or Louis, is always that Harvey would probably win, but Louis would probably go all 12. Like,
Right. Well,
Louis
he
would
can take
probably
a hit,
yeah,
for
Louis
sure.
would probably surprise you.
I know they've always reflected on everyone's past, and just this last season we learned about Harvey's. Have we ever, like, I know we've gone into Louis's past, but have they ever actually broken it down to what like the essence of his insecurity is, because his is so volatile.
I mean,
it's got to be connected to something.
Well, I mean, Esther definitely was a huge part of his life, like living in that shadow of his sister.
We get snippets of it.
Yeah, we don't really, like the way we did with Harvey, we don't get to know what Harvey's issues is with his mother.
Because he wasn't, you're right, Louis wasn't a fully formed, self-actualized person when he headed into, like, before he met Harvey. So you're right. There's something there that was always wrong, for lack of a better word. Like, it was always fixable.
And they say it usually stems from your parents. But
I might be with his father, and that's why I think he kind of has this obsession with Harvey, or maybe like an older brother. I feel like they don't really emphasize, because if we look at Harvey, his issues with women and commitment is because of his mother.
Right.
So with Louis, I wonder if they're going to start evolving that, like in the next, and by the end of this season, or hopefully by next season, because I feel like later on. They show you like the imperfection, and later on we saw what Harvey's issues were. So maybe we'll find out what's wrong with Louis.
Yeah.
Anything with more Louis, I'd love that.
He's a great character.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
very
maybe it's
an
the
awesome
cats.
actor. Like, he's crushing.
It has to do with the cats. I'm telling you.
There's probably something about cats. I think.
But Alex is a cat person too. So.
Well, I think Alex is an everyone person. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that in a minute.
He seems like a very good guy to get along with.
I don't know
Moving
about him.
on.
I don't know about Alex. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll do Alex on the fourth topic.
Yeah.
We'll move on. We're speaking of Stephanie. Stephanie is one of the associates. Also, Jason, who is, I believe Jason was a first-year associate. Stephanie is a fourth-year associate. Rachel is in charge of all the associates. Rachel technically reports to Donna, who's the COO, and who fought for Rachel to be in charge of the associates. Rachel has problems with Stephanie. Rachel doesn't know how to handle the problems with Stephanie. Donna steps in. There was a bit of Donna hate I overheard in the past weeks.
Oh yeah.
I had a minute of it in this episode where I was like, "Oh no!"
But she
took
it back.
Recover. I mean, I definitely in that moment I was like, "Well, that's completely stepping on her toes, obviously." But as it like was meant to portray, but she definitely called herself out on it immediately, and from that point forward was like awesome Donna again, because we were talking about.
Did you just say awesome Donna?
She's okay. Donna is.
Let's
be very clear. Steven and I are pro Donna.
And
you two are anti Donna.
I'm not anti Donna, but the past couple episodes she hasn't been.
Steven and I know.
She hasn't been the Donna that she's been throughout this whole Suits series. She's been a little crazy. Let's admit that. And I think it's kind of vindication for us because she came to her senses at the end and kind of admitted it. Kind of admitted what he and I were saying the whole time.
Hold up. State your cases.
Yeah. Also, there's no need to go 0 to 60 with being off anyone's team. I am pro Pearson Specter Litt.
As am I.
Everybody, with the exception of Stephanie, who's now gone, we're good. I'm on the team. Like we're all in this firm together.
So 2 episodes of Donna trying to become senior partner.
No, I mean I feel like people
wasn't
have
the Donna thing you expected this whole time.
I just felt like it was an out of line ask, so that was like originally where I started off like Louis.
But she aimed high. She aimed high to get COO.
Yeah, true.
Like she played the game well.
And she bought in. That's not an ask. You hand him a check. You hand him a check. You bought in.
Right.
But technically, she did ask first, and then
but she was
got advice to give a check.
She was also taking advantage of a situation where Harvey just got into his new job. There's a lot of like newly spinning plates, and she completely swooped in with her own agenda.
Right.
And, like she knew that Harvey was like struggling to kind of keep up this brand new position that he had, as was Mike. Like everybody else was kind of scrambling.
But we do know, suffice it to that, personally and professionally, they both melded at the end of last season with Donna, where she reached a point that had Harvey just said no, which is kind of what he wanted to do the whole time, like his actual inner of like, I really see you where you are.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little more, she would have left. She would have left and probably become COO somewhere else because she's done.
She have left,
I mean,
because they wouldn't have valued her.
But the reason why she pursued that in the first place, I'm telling you, it goes back to that meeting where she got rejected for the Donna. Her ego was hurt. Let's not pretend like it wasn't. I love Donna. Trust me. But she went on a power trip. Her ego was hurt, and she needed to feel better about herself. It was all just finding a way to get a position that she thinks she deserves in her head. And listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with shooting high, but let's not pretend that that's not what it was, because that's what it was.
Okay, my turn. I've heard your side. I've heard JB's side.
You a judge?
So, here's my thoughts on Donna. And no, I don't dream about Donna in the middle of the night, and
No
I don't
one said
obsess over her, but I'm defending her. So, here's my thoughts on Donna. Let's talk about that exact scenario. You said her ego, okay?
Yes.
She chimed in on behalf of Rachel, completely undermined her, overstepped her bounds. I agree with that, right? The number one commonality I've seen in this episode is ego. There's so much ego in this episode, starting from the way Harvey spoke to Louis, because it's not just ego. Harvey went below the belt with Louis, and I know we'll get into that, but I just want to explain where I give Donna respect. He went straight at, oh, you're just upset because I'm befriending Alex. And he's like, Louis is like, but I told you that in confidence. Why would you sit there and say that in front of Donna?
Right.
And then you have Louis, whose ego is just so monstrous that now he thinks Dr. Lipschutz is Harvey, and he, you know, takes out his anger on the associates, and there's just so much ego. Even Stephanie, she's like, I'm a 4th-year associate.
Right.
You're not going to pawn this off on me. You guys came after me. I didn't come after you.
Actually,
Donna.
Minus the Donna of it all, I have to step in and say Stephanie's correct in her feeling. Incorrect.
But it's the way she...
She's incorrect in her insubordination.
Right.
But it's also the fact that she said it publicly, and she had to say, it's like when your ego speaks for itself, she had to say, but you guys came after me. You guys recruited me. And the point of me saying all that is, there's a lot of ego, starting from the associates all the way to the name partners.
Right.
I got it right this time, name partners. And where Donna, I have so much respect for her, is her ego took over. She wanted to like chime in. She wanted to assert herself. And she's the only person in this episode that stood her ground, apologized for what she said. She took a step back and said, wow, what I did was not right. She apologized to Rachel, called her to her office. She took accountability for her actions. And so she is the only person in this episode who took a step back, acknowledged that what they did was out of ego, and took accountability for it. And that is why I think Donna is incredible.
Well, I think we all agree with you, though.
Yeah, she is
We're
incredible.
all agreeing
Totally.
on that.
I'm
We all
just
are
saying,
agreeing
like-
that the Donna that we saw at the end of the episode is a Donna that we all love. All I'm saying, and I think all JB's saying too, she just got out of character for a little bit, or just exaggerated what she really is. That's all I'm saying. I love Donna. It's just to see what she did for the past 2 or 3 episodes was just really annoying to watch her go on a power trip, an ego trip with something that
So
I
what
didn't
about
think she
Harvey's
deserved.
power trip?
Well, I mean,
What about
that's
Louis'
what I'm
power
saying.
trip?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
don't. I'm not saying
everybody
they don't.
has their faults. Like,
Right.
no one's perfect.
Right, and there
And
might
so,
be-
like, everybody kind of has their moments. Like, we've had episodes with Louis that have
Exactly.
obviously gone off the wires.
I think we just
We've
feel
had-
bad for Louis at this point. No one says anything bad about him.
Well, no, I mean, like like in that meeting though, he handled himself so well. Like confronting Harvey in that very, calm, confident way was a perfect way to handle the situation. Like he kept his cool so well when he confronted him about like how that made him feel, like him kind of sharing his dirty laundry that he got very embarrassed about.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of walking things back,
Right.
I think Rachel showed a lot of courage this episode by saying, "I don't want to supervise associates." Like I thought that was very telling of her character. That it's like I did this to practice law. Like I was a paralegal for so long, I thought I'd never actually be a lawyer. I'm finally a lawyer, and now I'm supervising other lawyers who think they're better than me, and who she didn't say this, but there's a certain level of like they're kind of right. Like I don't
Yeah.
have as much experience lawyering as a fourth year associate.
Right.
I have way more practical experience, but like as an actual lawyer, as it really counts.
No, that's a really good point. I think she was very cognizant of sort of like her own lack of experience in a lot of ways, and who she is as a person. Like she's not a mean person, so her approach was very soft in a lot of ways. And like Donna is obviously has a harder exterior, so I do think that she's a better fit for running the associates, like long term even.
I think Rachel, I give her also respect for acknowledging that she does need to take like a step back and actually, like as Steven said, be an attorney. But I think it's also because of the comment that Stephanie made to her. Because I saw, Rachel's reaction when she's like, I'm a 4th-year attorney. I'm not going to take any like direction from you.
Right.
So it's like I want to commend Rachel, but I think we're going to find out more as like the next episodes come. Like, is it really because she wanted to focus on being a better attorney, or is it what Stephanie said that got to her? Because it's like the whole Mike Ross situation in the last episode where Harvey's like, are you going to hide for the rest of your life? Like, remember Mike Ross wanted to drop the case because the opposing counsel had brought up his previous
Right.
history. So with Rachel, is it like, is she running?
Well, I mean, we'll see.
Can she not handle it?
Well, hopefully next week she realizes that that's not her fight. And let's be real. What we learned this week is that is clearly Donna's jam. Well, it's clearly Lewis's jam, but Louis is not in the right frame of mind at this point. So it's clearly Donna's jam right now to run the associates.
But also, I don't think deferring that responsibility to Donna is necessarily like taking a step back. Like her focusing on just being a lawyer is like a massive job. Like
Because
that's not doing less.
She's tried like maybe 5 cases. On camera,
right.
I think she's only tried like 2 cases.
Right. And I just mean like she's focusing her efforts in a different way. It doesn't mean
No,
that
I
she's,
didn't think.
like,
I wasn't saying she was doing less. I actually think it was the right decision.
Totally, yeah.
But what
No,
I'm
I
saying
think
is,
we're all on the same
I
page
want to
about
know
that.
is if she's doing it because she realized it was the right decision and put her ego aside, or is it what Stephanie said that got to her?
Right.
Because it got to Donna,
I think
it's
it
both.
definitely
It's
did.
both.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think it got to her, but I think she, through that experience, like realized that it's like not that fun. Like she didn't enjoy it really, and she did it. She stepped up in a way that like the company needed, but it's not really necessary. Like Donna can do it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, if I'm not really enjoying it, I don't need to do it. Donna can totally do this with her eyes closed. Like,
I'm just glad Donna fired Stephanie. That's
Me
all.
too.
yeah.
And the way
in
she
a
did
great
it too
way.
was
Great
awesome.
way,
Yeah.
This is the Donna
Yeah.
we love.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
Thank you,
Donna. I
Gabriel.
miss Donna.
Yeah, did you see Stephanie?
I miss so much. I missed you.
Did you see
Donna, so-
did you see Stephanie's response? She's like, "Oh, you're not going to do this in front of everybody else."
No.
And I loved how Donna
Yeah.
said, and
She's
it's not
like, "I don't
because
need to."
and it's not because it's Donna, but it's because there was a lot of ego. Rachel even
Yeah.
saying stuff in front of the other associates, Stephanie being loud in front of the other associates, and then here comes Donna making the show even worse.
Right. Well, no, and to your
Like
point
I feel like
about-
Harvey would have never done that.
Well, no, I mean,
Louis
I-
maybe, not Harvey.
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah. I don't know if Harvey would like have been in that position, but to
Yeah.
your
I
point
also
about the
don't. I
ego
also
thing,
don't think Harvey would have tolerated 3.
Yeah.
I don't.
He probably would have.
I actually
had
don't
a
think
fight.
Donna would either. Of like 3 separate cases of direct insubordination.
But when it comes to dealing with people, Donna's the best at it in the whole
Right.
firm. And I think that's why she thinks she deserved what she thought she deserved, and why she's so well liked on the shows, because people can relate to her and people can see themselves as friends with her.
Oh, totally.
I think it's a perfect. I think she would have handled that situation better than anybody. I think at the end, having her deal with the associates was just a perfect fit, because that's what she's meant to do. I think is just dealing with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And to Lina, your point earlier about like ego in general throughout this episode, I
So
thought
much
that,
ego.
Well, yeah, and I thought, and how it ended with Donna, like she took a very like ego-less route. I mean, not to say that like she was not confident, because she completely was, but it was great to see that like she didn't even need. It wasn't about like making a show. It was like, this is right for the firm. Like we can't stand. We won't put up with this shit. Like, at all.
We need to send Eckhart Tolle
And so,
to Pearson Specter
like,
Litt. You guys know who Eckhart Tolle is?
I was nodding like I did. I don't know what that
He wrote
It sounds fancy. So
Yes!
yeah.
He wrote-
totally.
yes,
bring him on, bring him on.
He wrote
All
no,
the
because
time.
you nodded. I was like, oh, he knows who Eckhart Tolle is. The he wrote The Power of Now in a New Earth, and it talks about like the ego self, and how like the ego can destroy like your life, your business, your friendships. Because there was just way too much. I mean, Harvey actually, I kind of lost a little bit of respect. Like he knows that Louis is extremely sensitive and that he's going through a hard time. So the fact that he went below the belt and was like, "You're just mad that he didn't like your honeysuckle plant."
He does,
Like,
it,
come
he does it
on.
all the time.
Yeah.
Harvey's.
Yeah,
does
I
it
mean,
all the time.
Harvey's definitely not perfect, and he, I think, like,
Not perfect. That's
Like
like,
the-
Louis status.
no,
what he
exactly.
did.
I was about to say that he like the old Lewis is really not is kind of like showing his faults much more.
His therapist girlfriend, she ain't.
Yeah, he needs
not
a new,
cutting
he
it.
needs a new
Paula,
one. He needs
You're not doing a
new
good
one.
job, honey.
Well, we're transitioning nicely. Sean Cunningham in the chat actually said, "Is Harvey okay, or is what Harvey is doing okay?"
Absolutely
not.
not.
Which brings us into Harvey and Paula. Are we all in agreement that this is wrong on like 5 different levels?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
not
I mean,
feeling
it's
it.
totally unethical for sure. But I mean, I kind of like them together.
I mean,
I don't
he's-
think it's gonna last forever.
Well,
but-
let me I don't think it's healthy.
I absolutely agree.
Like, I don't think it's healthy. I think Paula should know that it's not healthy.
she does.
Like, and the fact that Harvey's claiming, like, oh, I met you I wanted to talk to you in this room because when I met you, I needed this room and I don't need this room anymore. I'm like, no, that's not how mental health works.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually,
You should be talking to her forever.
no, and I think actually his ego has grown so much this season. Like even the way he was talking to Mike. Like Mike's like, you're telling me to pick a case about giving up. Like,
Yeah,
you're
right.
more concerned about Alex, the new senior partner's case, than you are about this guy getting justice for being murdered. And normally Harvey, I feel like, can, put the two aside and like be able to separate. He does care about helping people, like bottom line, but it's like this episode, he cares about the money, he cares about the status, he cares about the therapist, and even the therapist, I feel like his attraction to her is the fact that she already knows about his history with his mother, and he doesn't want to start off new. I feel like that's why, and it's also because she doesn't want him. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. Is like
I think part of it is a forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I shouldn't date my therapist. I should.
I mean, they were both talking about how that it kind of affects the mind.
Like that makes it because society tells you shouldn't. Like that makes it all the more cool. Where like, oh man, I totally should. Right. Where it's like, Harvey, you really, really shouldn't. This is gonna end bad for you.
But do you guys think? And I want your guys' opinion because you guys are all men. Do you think that once Paula gives in, I know like we kind of saw at the end that she gives in. Do you think for him it's a combination of the chase and that once she gives in, that then we're going to start seeing the underlying issues? Or do you think he genuinely means what he said when he said to her, he's like, isn't that the risk of any relationship? Or do you think he genuinely cares about her and wants a relationship with her?
I think he thinks he genuinely.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I think he thinks that.
Not what he thinks, but what do you think's gonna, like? What do you guys think?
What do I think's going to happen? I think they're going to go up in flames.
So do I.
In the next 5 weeks.
I think
like
right now
we're not even gonna wait till episode 10 for this.
I give it 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
What? I mean, she's been around for a few seasons.
I think they're gonna I think she's gonna get backburnered a couple weeks while it looks like they have a pretty big A-side story going on with the actual firm. That she'll be kind of a back burner, kind of like she was this week.
I think if their relationship doesn't last, it's because of his ego. I feel like right now he's playing like the convincing role, like he's an attorney, and the case is get Paula. Right. So he's fighting to get Paula.
I don't know if I agree with
but
that.
His ego is monstrous.
I think all of his relationships with women have been semi-self-destructive.
Yes.
And it takes a strong enough woman to stick
therapy.
A therapist?
It takes a strong enough woman like Donna or like Paula to really power through with him, but that's not healthy. Because Paula's going to power through his self-destructive behavior because she knows it's self-destructive behavior. She knows it's self-destructive behavior because it roots to his mother and his father and it's this and it's that and all the 40 hours of therapy they've had. This is bad.
I'm going to not disagree with you, but I'm going to tell you my standpoint on the difference between Donna and Paula. I actually think that Donna would be the one that would be able to handle Harvey because I noticed there's a sense of Paula, even at the closing of the episode, where like Harvey's a weakness to her. She doesn't know how to be logical. Like the fact that Harvey was a logical one at the end where he's like, every relationship there's a risk. There's something about Harvey that makes her insecure. And as a therapist, you would think that she could apply what she teaches other people. But I've always been the first person to say is that you never take your own advice. Like you know what the best, like I'll know what the best thing to do is in a situation.
Oh no, I have the best advice because it's the advice I don't
listen to. Your ego kicks
day.
in, your insecurities kick in, and then boom, you're doing exactly what you would not have told someone else to do. So I feel like that relationship is not going to work out. I feel like Donna would definitely be able to handle that relationship a lot better than Paula will.
Because Donna and Harvey had a friendship. Like, they built their relationship off of a friendship, whereas Paul and Harvey, it's just him talking to her and her being like, okay, I understand you now. And she probably fell for him because, A, he's good-looking, he has a good job, and he's very charismatic. But, like, what is there... Like, what
classic
substance...
reasons for relationships.
But what substance do they have?
It's true, actually.
But honestly, like... how much do they really... I mean, she knows him, but, like...
He knows nothing about her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where's this chemistry coming from?
Other than, like, she finds... Like she finds him attractive.
Right.
Like she finds
Again,
him,
all good, like a good starting place for a relationship.
And there's a scientific phenomenon called limerence that, like, the butterflies you get for a person only actually exists for 3 years.
Right, but no, I feel like that's honestly
roughly
more,
3 years limerence.
I feel like it's more on Paula's side. That's why I feel like when it does blow up, it's probably going to be from her. She's already raised the concerns of, like, I don't really feel comfortable with this. I don't know why. Like,
she makes him insecure. I see it, like, in her face.
Yeah, and, like, you know, Harvey's always been, like, the closer. So I get why he, like, goes after the girl, and he's clearly getting her. But, you know, she's living out this, like, fantasy, sort of. I mean, she mentioned this being a thing that, like, you don't.
It's something you don't do.
And do you think he's living out a fantasy
Yeah,
dating
a
a woman who
bit.
understands him completely and who he's attracted to?
No, totally.
Like, it's kind of both. They're kind of feeding into each other's insecurities and fantasies.
Yeah, no, totally.
And she keeps saying no.
Right, but he also skipped, like, a massive, like, bunch of steps in, like, first dates. Like he skipped to like date 6. He like the amount of conversation or amount of stuff that she knows.
To just date your therapist.
And so
You're skipping the like date 20.
He never needs to
like,
speak again. There's no
exactly.
what's
Like,
your
she
favorite
already
color?
knows
Tell me about
everything.
your life. Tell me about your mom. Like she knows everything.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
gonna.
I mean,
this is
every
gonna end
session.
so bad for them.
No, totally. But I mean, I feel like he'll learn from this. He's again as the closer, like he's kind of acting that way in this new role as like as like managing named partner, and that's really kind of creating a lot of problems. Like he's not compromising at all, and so that you can't really do that. I mean, Jessica.
Jessica.
I feel like I'm most on her team. She
so composed
was you know much more adept at handling kind of like the ebbs and flows and like compromising with people here and there, because it can't be, you know, all your way or all like for one, all for business or all for like friendships. Like it's got to be a mix, and you, like people take hits at different times.
Also, Lindsay Ivory Neptune in the chat says Paula shouldn't feel comfortable with this.
She should not.
And she doesn't.
I
Paula
absolutely agree.
Yeah,
she obviously
does not.
Yeah, good call.
She doesn't. It's probably going to be. I don't even.
A couple episodes.
Yeah, like I have a strong prediction for this. We're going to jump right into Harvey, and Harvey's kind of dealing like a dictator this episode, a little bit, as he should as managing partner of, let's say, a fledgling firm at this point. Like they're not what they used to be as a firm. That like he really needs to rule with an iron fist.
Right, but striking out at Lewis was not cool. Like
striking out at Lewis was not cool.
Cheap shot, big time.
Morally making Mike pull this case against Reform Corp, I'm not a fan. I understand, but I like.
Yeah, no, I get it. I feel like there were other things that he could have done. He could have like Harvey'd his way out of it, or like gone to the like.
Okay,
but when you're building
maybe
a firm,
it worked out for the best.
I
but
mean, they just hit rock bottom, and he has to build up this firm from the bottom to the top again. I think if there was Pearson, Specter, Litt, maybe before everything went down, he would have let it slide. But he has to keep lines. He has, to
right. I mean, yeah. There's no good way out of
I'm
that
not saying I'm not
situation,
excusing
like,
it.
at all.
It is what it is. I think that's what's just his reasoning. I'm not saying he should have or shouldn't have done it, but
I feel like the Harvey that I've seen over the last several seasons is the Harvey that should be managing. I feel like the new managing partner, Harvey, he's just taking it with like such an iron fist, but isn't realizing that it's not about making confident decisions. He's just ruling like a dictator. Like the old Harvey in that situation would have gone to Mike and been like, Mike, listen, I've had your back. I've gone out on a limb for you. Please drop this for me, because this will now be the second time that I've turned my word against Alex. You know? Like that's what the old Harvey would do. The new Harvey's just...
I feel like that old Harvey only existed because of Jessica. And like, he's been going through a very long transition because Jessica left.
he feels like he has to be Jessica.
But that's not what Jessica would do, though.
But I think this season, is really the big.
She definitely just like told Harvey.
Jessica
to,
lays
like,
down a law.
go screw himself a bunch. So,
but Jessica, like, I think he's been spending this time. I think he's been spending last season trying to be more like Jessica, and he's spending this season trying to be his own self in this position. And I think the reason he was so open to compromise and change was that if Jessica said something, he'd just have to go with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's being a subordinate, like, being an Indian versus being a chief. Yeah. Way easier. Like,
no, totally. Yeah, I mean, you're bearing all the responsibility. So, like, you know, even though his day-to-day might have more free time, like, here and there, like, he takes everything. Like, everything is his fault at the end of the day. If they do lose, like, a big client, that reflects directly on him. Like, there's no escaping it.
I agree with the Indian versus the chief point that you made, because in the situation with Stephanie, the reason why she kept doing that and she had the 3 strikes against her with Rachel is because she didn't respect Rachel. Mm-hmm. And when Donna made that point with Rachel, she's like, Stephanie would have never done that to Louis, because Louis, you would have cremated her. Like, fault one.
Yeah, Louis wouldn't.
Or in Rachel's words, she would have killed him. I mean, he would have killed her.
Yeah.
After the first one.
Yeah, but then, like, Louis is that type of managerial style.
Yeah.
Of, like, I'm actually falling in love with Donna's managerial style, to be very honest. Where it's like, because, like, I've always, and it's similar to, like, college professors. The college professors I liked the most were the ones that tell you exactly what you need in the syllabus up top.
Right.
And do not care if you give it to them or not. As long as you either show up, sit down, shut up, do the work, or you don't, and then you can't come complaining at the end of the semester where it's like, well, I want the better grade, you should have done the work. This isn't personal. I'll have a beer with you. You seem like a great guy.
My favorite college professors are the ones that gave you the curve that went in your favor, not the ones that went against you.
Professors you had, I didn't have those.
Totally, Steven, I do agree with you about Donna's managerial style at the end.
Yes.
Let us not forget
Yes.
that she definitely had missteps along the way. She not only went out of bounds with Rachel, but then blew up at her, and there's this whole catfight that ensued. So there were several moments of, again, Donna is not perfect. She's awesome.
Nobody's perfect.
But I'm just saying, like, it's a learning curve for everybody right now.
Right.
There's so many characters that are all in new roles. And, I mean, we just got, like, a brand new one. Alex, like, we have no idea what he's going to do.
Love this, by the way. I've loved Dule Hill for a while.
Yeah.
I remember
he's good people.
my parents were huge West Wing fans.
Totally.
I'm a huge Psych fan, and my parents would always just see Psych on the TV and be like, "Man, Dule Hill really?
Yeah.
What's going
he's
on?"
Ballers, too.
Yeah,
right
like
now.
he's great on Ballers. Like he's great on everything.
Yeah.
But it's very
That's
interesting. Like, it's great to just see him in this show. Like,
But as an attorney, what do we think of him?
mean,
I
he's
feel
got
like
some
we know
pretty good,
nothing
awesome
about him.
moments.
He's
got
like an
them.
He
onion.
just got introduced. I mean, give him some time. I like him so far.
Yeah.
I think
seems
he's
like a-
I think he's too likable. I'm suspect.
That's what I'm saying.
You
I think
think
he's
he's
an
awesome?
onion, and there's layers
onion.
coming out, and
I
each
don't know,
layer
but, like,
is gonna make you cry.
But because he's got cats, so he all of a sudden like relates to Louis.
It's convenient.
Like,
It's very convenient.
Every character mixed into one, because he's obviously friends with Harvey, so he's cool like that. Like he can carry his own. When
and we
they
saw the
pull those
the reference
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
they were all
Listen,
clear
you
on
know
the
why I
references.
don't trust him?
He has cats like Louis, and he can like sympathize like with Mike.
With Mike, yeah.
I don't trust him because he's too politically correct. When you're too politically correct, no, I take that back.
What did he say?
Not because he's
What?
not that because he's politically correct. That's actually a great way to be when you're an attorney. It's that he conveniently says the right thing at the right time. Like
And that's a
right
bad
when
thing?
Mike's coming at him. No, but I don't think it's genuine. Especially that ending scene with Mike. I feel like he
I felt that
knows.
was-
I feel
think
like
that
he
he
knows
lied?
what he's doing. I don't know yet. We're gonna find out.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm
like,
just saying. I feel
saying
like
the right thing at the
he
same
knows
time
what
sounds
he's
like
doing, and says the right thing to like prevent aggression.
I think
but he does it intentionally.
But I think he sees Pearson Specter Lit as a game of social chess.
Yeah, I mean,
And
he's
he's
finding his bearings.
and
He's
he's
on
just-
a new brand
That's
new company.
okay.
But he's saying
Not
what he-
politically correct. That's what you
Like
said was a
social-
lot better. He's
like-
playing chess.
He's playing a game of
But everyone is.
yeah.
It's
But he's so good. I'm suspect.
Really? I mean,
Because-
listen. You know what?
so-
Just because he's new, I don't trust him. Like I'm new here, and I don't trust me, and you're new, and I don't trust you on the after show either.
And we're new, so the viewers don't trust us.
The after show people don't trust us.
So I get where like lawyers have to keep their guards up
Are you new?
constantly.
Are you new here?
To this, to
Damn it.
not,
No.
wait, what?
Just me and you.
Oh, okay. Don't trust us with the
Yeah,
newbies.
don't trust the left side.
But that being said, I feel like we should also be open to people like on their team. Like it's possible that Alex is a good guy and like
Oh
is
my
all these
god!
things.
So that's what it's like to the people at home that are doing this. We're like, they think we're suspect. They think we're like
Absolutely.
an onion,
well, you know.
and they have to like pull the
Exactly.
layers.
There we go.
I don't think it
See,
helped that I kinda-
give the benefit of the
This
doubt.
is karma
I feel
because
like.
I don't trust Alex. No one trusts me.
There you go.
This
There
is
you
karma
go.
right
There you
here.
go. Boom.
Karma in the making.
Back to the
Came full
show.
circle really quick.
It's not about you, Lina.
No, I'm joking. No, but seriously though, I know as an actor, he's an amazing actor, but I feel like he's there for a reason. He's gonna
Okay.
set some kind of drama in motion.
So my question to you is like, what could that drama be?
Well,
You know what I mean?
Next episode, it had to do with his
Well, I mean, it's
firm.
definitely been about his old clients. So like that.
Right.
I mean, it's happened a couple times where his clients have been a problem in obviously the recruitment process. Now again, as like the first case when he's joined the firm, I don't see this problem going away, and I think that might be the kicker. Like maybe he has to give up a client and has to walk away or something.
Does the chat trust Alex? Ask him.
Chat, do you trust Alex?
Sean Cunningham does not trust Alex.
Sean, it's not about.
See,
He's
and
not
listen,
Team
I'm
Alex.
not. Listen, I don't have like a crystal
hating.
ball. I'm just. There's something about him. I feel like he's coming right at the right time. That he represents something.
Well, he's definitely opportunistic. He thinks he's gonna have his name on the wall at some point.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
many-
he's aggressive
But-
and
He
ambitious
lied about
and-
his roommate being the Department of Justice.
well, that's
But every attorney lies.
that was a Harvey-esque con. That
No.
was fine. Do we have anything else to talk about with Alex and the big
Well, yeah.
and the big cases before we jump into
The big-
predictions?
Because
we're bordering on it.
One
Yeah,
more
we're
thing
bordering,
about
yeah.
Alex is like, as I said, I think he's like a culmination of all these characters. But at the same time, because of that, he's not mandatory. Like his role is covered by all these characters. Yes, they're all in different roles, so they're like going like every which way. But as soon as they kind of find their footing, they'll be back to like the Louis will be subdued and like able to do his like finance thing. Like Harvey will have like a greater understanding of his role and like how to compromise and like make smarter decisions. And you know, obviously Donna clearly found hers already. Mike's, you know, definitely doing his thing. So I think it's just a matter of time before they all realize that they might not need Alex.
What's everyone else saying on the chat? Anybody else not trust Alex? We gotta get some support here.
Lindsay Avery Neptune, I hope he's a liar because he's boring right now.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yes, Lindsay loves drama.
For the conflict.
I buy that. I really enjoyed Mike's stakes for the Reform Corp case as well, and it was made very clear to Oliver where he said, I almost died in a prison.
Yeah. I'm glad Oliver came to his senses a little bit. He was getting very
He
annoying
always
to
does.
me.
He always does.
I-
He
'cause
always
he's
fights
like-
Mike, and then he
he's-
just.
I get why, like he's very like do good, but it just it's too much for me.
I'm really
Can
loving
we-
Mike Ross
Can-
this season.
Is Oliver going to get better in court?
I was about to say.
Yeah, I hope so.
Dude, he's
I hope
gonna
so.
lose that case. That's what I said when he handed off the
stutter in
file. I was like,
court.
did you try
Yeah.
to kill the case?
Like, literally, like, did we forget that Oliver's not a great public speaker?
Yeah, I
Like,
think he handed it to the wrong person in that
and
trip.
granted, like he can pass it off to someone else
Yeah.
at his firm. Like, he was just like the conduit.
Of course he's gonna take it and he's gonna ruin it. I feel like Mike
no,
Ross
but he can get someone else to litigate
Right.
though.
Right.
Like, he knows that that's not his strong suit. He
Well,
can run
also
point
you're-
from the side.
Also, I think the point of filing the suit is to spurn an investigation. The investigation will prove enough in like discovery that they'll settle.
Okay, so you're
I
saying
think, I think
they
that's
won't go to court.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No
pretty,
one wants
it's
to
pretty
go to
silver
court.
platter at this
Yeah.
point. I feel like.
like only a sociopath wants to go to court for anything, even a lawyer. Like if you can avoid going to court, you'll avoid going.
But
to
there
court.
wasn't enough evidence. It was just speculation based off of what he heard from a guard that they're understaffed.
Right. He just teed him up super well. Like,
Yeah.
like that is a very good lead to
Because
go
if
on.
you
and I'm sure
file-
the facts like will represent. They
You
can't
can prove
hide,
that
like,
easily,
yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like, so
and by filing the suit, you're putting that question into the ether.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's much cheaper for a corporation to just pay off that
Right.
suit than to have that
The
stay-
allegation, yeah.
have that
and,
allegation
exactly.
stay in the ether
back
while they're
press,
trying.
Yeah.
While they're
totally.
trying to have 1,000 more private prisons. By the way, private prisons suck. We
But-
shouldn't do that. We
But isn't the whole point of the case is that his father Mike said, I don't want this to ever happen to somebody else again. So if they just get paid off, that actually doesn't help anybody. I mean, it's going to help the dad. It's not going to bring Chris back. So ultimately, the only way it's going to
there might
help
be- there might be
people,
other
they have to
things
take
that-
accountability.
Right, but the settlement doesn't have to be just money
Exactly.
to the dead family. Like they can.
Yeah,
be
they have to
other
get
things.
accountability as well. They have
Right.
to take
I mean, they
responsibility.
can, there's a
and if they-
variety of
if-
things that
yeah,
can
and if-
happen, like admission of guilt. There can be like other reforms that they can do internally, so it makes sure that there doesn't happen again. Like they can mandate that they do have to have X amount of staff.
Well, and
like,
not
many
even
things.
that, but if in a corporation, it all comes down to the bottom line. So if not staffing properly hurts the bottom line because you get sued and you have to settle, it's cheaper to just staff properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than to have legal liabilities.
I mean, well, we're going to find out, but I'm just saying that I don't think that this private prison is going to be open to taking accountability. Think about how many other people got killed in prison or there was fights or injured. This is going to open up a can of worms.
Right. That's why
they'll
settle.
That's why they.
Not even take it to court.
Settle, but they'll have to, if they want to help people, they're going to have to publicly say that they take responsibility. But I'm saying I don't think they're going to want to do that.
Well, no, I mean that's not the only way. If they said,
And Oliver's not going to make that happen.
Well, yeah,
we
no,
need
I mean,
somebody else.
That I agree, but I mean, if they just said that they would properly staff,
Hire more,
that would
yeah.
be at least a big step forward to making sure that it didn't happen there. Like maybe not at every prison.
So if
but
I
it's
say
like-
I'm going to give you $1 million, does that fix anything? I'm saying.
I mean,
doesn't mean I'm
it's
gonna give it to
better
you.
than nothing, right?
Well, if you say you're going to give me
mean-
$1 million, my response to you would be, I will take $500,000 and a public admission of guilt.
It's better. It's
But
better. than
Oliver's
nothing.
not going to say that. So I wonder who's going to say it for
I'd give
him.
him a little more credit.
Or actually,
he is a lawyer.
actually, you know
still
what?
say it.
Oliver, I believe in you. Okay.
Oh, now you.
I believe in Oliver.
Just
Well, yeah,
3 seconds ago.
I mean,
No, because I thought about it. I don't want to bash on
Okay.
him. You know, maybe he's learned a lot, but
Right.
man, last case. I mean,
yeah, it just depends
choked.
on how like bad it was. If they had no medical staff, that's even worse. Like if he figures that out, then clearly the settlement would even go up from that. Like I feel like Oliver can handle this. He is a lawyer. He's got the firm. Maybe they were able to hire someone else that's more capable, more up to the Mike status because they got a huge check. So they're a lot more funded right now.
Well, the guy that runs that clinic could do it.
Right.
But once again,
Nate,
Oliver's only problem is actual court. This is not going to go to court.
Right.
Any which way. It's going to be
Very true.
It's going to be boardroom stuff. Typical suit stuff, if you will.
Oh, totally. Yeah, he can write an angry letter and threaten to sue, I bet, like a pro. So, they might settle it for something. Awesome.
Team Oliver over here.
I'm team
Oliver
Oliver.
now.
I
I
like
was very, like, the antithesis.
I feel
of
like this
Team
is gonna be his moment,
Oliver.
though. I feel like he's gonna prove us all wrong.
Hopefully.
I would love a moment where Mike or whoever's running that case, from the outside, is really, really worried that Oliver's going to screw it up, and he actually steps up. He's like, "No, I smoke weed. I'm fine." Or like, I've been talking to a speech therapist. Or like,
I talked to Dr. Lipschitz.
it was a problem.
We're good.
It was a problem.
Got a
I fixed
referral.
it. That's what happened. Like,
Dude, can we talk about Dr. Lipschitz real quick?
yeah.
He's a really good therapist. Like, even when I hear him talking to Lewis, I'm like, Lina, listen to what he's saying.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
he's got his work
your
cut out
ego
for
is
him.
not
It's
your
an easy
amigo,
job.
Lina.
You definitely need a qualified, like,
And he's on call all
extreme.
night. Like, Lewis is calling him late night.
He's probably really expensive.
yeah, he's probably on a retainer. That's for sure. I mean, very
Lewis
necessary.
Lewis probably keeps that guy on retainer, like a big retainer.
Do you remember, I think it was the second episode, the doctor's like, okay, we'll talk tomorrow. He's like, no, I'll tell you when we're going to talk. He's like,
Yeah.
I pay you
Like,
enough
clear
money.
your day tomorrow.
Clear tomorrow. We're gonna do this.
Discuss this.
So I think it's time. One thing left. It's time for predictions. Do it.
Okay. I'm going to go first.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Bring it.
I think Dr. Lipschitz is going to end up with Paula.
Go
Happily
on.
ever after. I was completely joking.
Okay. Wait,
That was a total fake.
You said that semi-seriously.
I think also I don't know if this is true, but I'm pretty sure that two psychologists can't date because that's like unethical.
Dude, they would
as well.
psychoanalyze each other the whole
Right.
time.
I
That'd
don't
be
know if
like
that's
the
true.
worst
That's like
relationship
a-
ever.
Imagine being friends with them and going on a double date with that. Ugh.
Yeah. that
Anyway.
means- yeah.
Okay,
I
on to
actually
serious predictions.
I actually have a prediction about Dr. Lipschitz. I
Nice,
think
go for it.
specifically him being introduced this late in the game, and Lewis, or the actor being introduced this late in the game, and Lewis saying, "I don't know what I would do without you." I think he's going to retire or die in the next 7 weeks.
Whoa.
Lewis?
or Dr.
Oh,
No,
Lipschitz.
Dr. Lipschitz.
Oh, God.
Oh,
That'd be
wow.
so Lewis.
I was like, whoa.
I was like, Lewis is dying?
he is older.
He is older.
He's older.
He's older. He just got introduced.
Right.
Like the actual character, like
Right.
on screen, just
Right.
got introduced. It's been said more than once. Like, what would I do without this doctor?
Foreshadowing, yeah.
It feels like the writing's on the wall. He's either gonna retire or die,
I like that prediction. I mean, I don't like the fact that
Okay.
someone would
Yeah.
die, but I
or
do.
just like yeah, I love people dying.
Death.
Bring it.
Yeah.
Are we all? And we're all in agreement. Harvey and Paula are gonna fail.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
We're
There's
talking.
no question
we're
about
talking
that.
one week. We're like.
I don't think it's gonna happen next week, but I see it happening this season. I think it's like a fun thing for them, the writers to like write about. It's like topical and
Yeah.
obviously it creates a lot of conversation. Clearly, but I don't see it happening long term. But I also really am against the Donna Harvey endgame. Like,
You're against.
I don't know why. I just I can't
Darby?
see that. I can't take them seriously.
They're like this right now. How
Like-
dare you
No, that's
be
that.
against
just-
Donna on Harvey?
Okay, I've also been outspoken on this show that I think Donna Lewis is also a possibility.
Really? I can't see
Whoa.
how they would
Eventually, I actually think they would
Really?
make a good match, but down the line, Lewis needs to start loving himself more.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Lewis has got some stuff to work out.
If you want to talk, if you want to talk true endgame, I think it could just as easily be Donna and Lewis.
interesting.
They're
Oh,
great
okay.
counterpoints to each other.
Okay.
Okay.
They're great mates, if
Yeah.
you will. It's the soul,
counterpoint, the
it's the
yin-yang,
soul and the
for
love
sure.
and the like.
For sure.
So
yeah.
my prediction is has to do with Lewis. I feel like there's like a parallel between the unraveling of like Harvey's character, and now we're seeing that with Lewis. So I'm hoping that the fact that they're showing that he's hitting like a breaking point is gonna start going into like the history of Lewis, and I feel like in the next couple episodes they're gonna start going into like Lewis's past because he
Yeah.
literally screamed at the therapist and called him Harvey.
Yeah.
He's at some point either he's doing a combination of projecting or hallucinating, so he's about to hit his breaking point, and I cannot wait because Lewis is absolutely one of my favorite characters, and I really want to know what it is that's making him break down. So I feel like we're gonna find out about his history, about his life, And I think that's why the therapist has been introduced, because
And
he's
might
going to
die.
help us unravel it. Hopefully not die. He's going to help us unravel it. And we're going to find out the truth behind Louis Litt. And I cannot wait.
Major breaks.
And
are
I kind
coming
of
for Louis.
rejected
Yeah.
at the beginning of this after show, but like the more I think about it, do you think it's a sexuality thing with Louis? Is that too crazy to put out there that maybe he has like?
I don't think so. I mean,
No, I think
he's
it's-
super eccentric in every way, but I
Yeah.
don't think like he has such a huge infatuation for every girl that he's been involved with.
Right.
I can't see that it being anything.
And
other
this
than that.
show is, dare I say, woke enough that to make the big breakthrough be
Right.
that he's a self-hate, like he's a homosexual, and like that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think that wouldn't be as woke as this show is capable of.
Right.
Got it.
Because then you're introducing a homosexual character whose main character trait is that they're homosexual, like it's 1980s.
Okay, so yeah.
That steps way backwards.
Okay. I'm trying to.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like.
Well, I mean, we're about to find out. I
Yeah.
really think this is the beginning of the breakdown of Louis Litt, and we're going to find out
Like what's-
about his life. And I'm excited for that because we don't.
No,
it's
totally.
like what you said earlier. I feel like we've only had little specks of Louis's life.
Yeah, well, I mean, until the last couple of seasons, he's been much less of a main character.
Yeah.
Like he's been more of like a problem, conflict character. Now he's definitely one of the main go-tos, which is cool. I mean, I love his presence, but I'm very curious. Like you said, I mean, to find out more about him. Let's not forget that Harvey, who's like the main character, we just found out last season. So they're definitely opening the gates,
Yeah.
which is cool. I mean, I think my prediction for that is that it's got to be something with his parents because Louis has such a huge need to have a kid. Like, so much so that he was about to raise someone that wasn't even his kid. Just
Because he-
abandoned by
I-
his father.
And that's why he also
wants
broke
to
up.
compensate. Like,
Yeah.
when you grow up like in a
Right. Yeah,
broken
exactly.
home, you want to have a kid to correct like all the wrongs.
Right.
But
Yeah, totally. And
he
that's the
can't
reason
even
he
correct
broke
himself
up.
right now.
Yeah, and that's the only reason he broke up with what's her name from Harvard from the. I'm blanking on
Yes.
her name.
Her.
But yes, yes.
she doesn't want
His
kids.
only
Admissions
other his only other
What if
relationship
Louis
was-
ended up with Katrina? I always thought about
Whoa,
that.
okay.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like those two together in a relationship would be a disaster.
So I have a big one that I think is going to set a lot of us off.
Totally.
I think by the end of episode 8 or 9, Alex's true form is going to be revealed, and that he's actually out for himself, possibly to dismantle
you.
the whole firm.
Thank you.
You think he would actually go out of his
Teamwork.
way?
Pretty sinister.
Wait, you think he'd go
I
out of his
agree.
way
Aggressive.
just to dismantle the firm? Like, you think he's doing all this just to take down the firm?
Maybe he's
well,
still
to
mad
take
at
all
Harvey.
the clients. Like, I think
Whoa.
there's a double-sided. Like, I think
Okay.
I wouldn't be shocked if whatever firm he came from he
Wanted
was-
to go in.
Yeah, or like he was more loyal to, and he said, "Listen, I'll quit. I'll go in there as a senior partner.
Right.
I will."
That's the way he'll make it to name partner at the other firm.
I'll literally bundle all of the best clients at Pearson Specter Litt, who would be your closest.
Right.
Who would be your closest competitor? Let's say, bundle them all together. They'll all come over to you, and that's how I'll be named
Oh
partner.
my God. Listen, literally, he just said that, and I had like a flash. Okay?
She literally
in-
saw the episode.
He's in the office, and remember he was in the office, and Alex said to Harvey, he's like, yeah, I was bluffing. Of course they'd never make me name partner here, or senior partner. Actually, he said both, or he said name partner. He's like, I would never be partner here because the firm's so big. And that makes sense. He's like, I will go into the firm, I'll dismantle, I'll take their biggest clients. Jessica Pearson's not there anymore. They're about to unravel. I'll take everything, and he's going to take it back to the firm, and that's how he's going to make his way to the top.
I mean,
Or
I
I think that's what he's trying. That's his plan.
Yeah, I see him leveraging. I don't think he's gonna do.
Oh,
Harvey
he's not
that
gonna
dirty,
succeed,
though.
yeah.
Like I don't think like they're.
No, Harvey
friendship-
did him dirty too, from what
Yeah,
he
but
said.
I don't think he's holding a grudge like that aggressively.
It's not a grudge.
No,
he
I
wants
think
to
so.
name partner.
You think he's literally puppeteering this whole like facade that he's joined this?
To get named partner,
What?
absolutely.
To get named partner
Wow,
either.
that's super
I
aggressive.
wouldn't be shocked if he's playing both sides. That like if his name wants to be on a door, like he's made his stakes
no,
pretty
totally.
clear.
I
That
don't-
whether his name is on the Pearson Specter Litt door or wherever he came from,
Well, no, that's what
he
I'm saying.
doesn't care.
I'm going with Steven on this.
True,
I agree.
true. I agree with you. He doesn't care, and I agree he will. Like, he's no loyalty to Pearson Specter Litt. His main mission is to get his name on a door.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I do not think that he would or try to poach the clients.
They
from,
poached his client first.
I think he would. I think
they
he
talked
would.
to him. That was aggressive.
Let's.
I don't think he's gonna like literally. He's mastermind this whole evil
I'm a word nerd here.
scheme to like screw over Harvey, one of his oldest friends.
But that's not what I'm saying. I think the scheme would be to bundle all the clients in a place where he could poach them, and use that as leverage to stay at Pearson Specter Litt, but become a senior partner.
Got it.
Become a name partner.
That makes a lot of
Like
sense.
how Louis did.
Totally.
Yeah.
And technically how Harvey did.
Yeah, like similarly that he doesn't have loyalty to either firm, but he wants his name on one of the doors. And this is how he's going to get it.
Or not.
Let us know in the comments if we're way too quick to call Alex out.
That makes sense. No,
I mean we're just making educated guesses based off of seeing him 2 episodes now.
You think he might use Mike?
It's very
in a little bit of a way,
and
and his pro bono cases. I mean, like we saw today that they kind of clashed. And Mike is going to get angry if Harvey keeps rejecting Mike's cases and things like that, telling him to step down. I was going to predict that Mike's continue to take cases that are going to run into conflict of interest with Harvey and Pearson Specter Litt, and it's going to come to a point where Mike's going to give Harvey an ultimatum, like, all right, it's either me
or, oh my God,
Alex.
I just thought of something that you just said that, and it could just be like completely reaching like we've been doing. Is you notice how he said in that specific case with the construction company, he's like, he just picked him up as a client. What if Alex is researching these pro bono cases knowing that Mike's gonna win, and he finds the opposing side and picks them up as clients with that as leverage?
Okay, now we're getting a little
This is
evil.
conspiracy theory type. That would be a little much.
You're giving Alex too much credit.
I said it was reaching.
Right,
but if I'm right, I will laugh.
He's not like the emperor. He's not like literally.
But do you notice how? But remember, they made a point to say that he just picked up that construction company. It's a new client.
Right. Yeah, because it was it was like one of the biggest like construction companies in America.
I would argue that that's happenstance. I would argue that that's a coincidence. Jay Ruiz in the chat said maybe he's working for Robert Zane.
Whoa.
I don't think Zane would do that.
I don't know. Yeah, I think he's just.
I think Zane's a money guy more than anything.
Yeah, his door is
and he
still
wants.
confirmed.
Yeah.
He'll like follow where the like money.
Honestly,
talks.
I feel like I just had like a Louis Litt moment where all I saw was like Harvey and Alex sitting next to each
It was
other,
like,
and I assumed
Got the lip
like
shits.
they're going on a lunch date and they're best friends, and so yeah.
I have 2 more
Dr.
predictions.
Litt.
Anybody else have any predictions?
Oh, okay.
I want to hear yours.
I want to hear. I have a prediction about Donna and Harvey.
Bring it.
Okay. I think by the end of the season, however long it goes on, I think there's like at least another season left or
Of the show?
of the show
This is
altogether.
a series prediction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Because we're going
All right.
far.
Yeah.
I think that the happily ever after will be Donna with Harvey. And even though I know some of you guys don't support Darby, I think that there's nobody else that can handle Harvey besides Donna. And I believe that when she's actually now standing her ground and she grows as a woman and he grows as an individual and sets his ego aside in his new position and realizes that time after time, every girl he dates, it doesn't work out and it ends up, his breakups are terrible. Like they never end up on good terms. That I truly believe happily ever after, Darby.
Totally. I respectfully disagree, obviously. I mean, what you said actually a little bit earlier with Louis and Donna actually like, threw me for a loop because I feel like they're very different, but like opposites attract. In relationships, like those are the ones that fit best. Harvey and Donna are way too similar. Like they're essentially like, the same type of character.
But sometimes that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I think they're just too similar for them to really work as a relationship. There's no give and take. There's just like, they're both power people. Like Harvey needs to be the boss, so he needs someone that's like a little bit more.
Donna, I feel like she takes the back seat when it comes to Harvey when she needs to.
Yeah, I think Donna just wants to feel
exactly, and I
appreciated.
don't think that's healthy. Like we saw tonight when they were in that room, like about the meeting. Like that's not a comforting relationship.
It's not going to
They
be.
don't have that at all.
We as the audience are not going to see a blissful, comfortable, healthy relationship between Harvey and Donna because it's Endgame. There'd be no show.
Right.
There'd be no show. He needs to be flawed. She needs to be
Right,
searching
yeah.
for more and then like wondering what he is, what he isn't. Kind of like that's an Endgame relationship. I'm going to come out and say that Stephanie's coming back.
Whoa.
Really?
But she's not coming back, or I heard some people in the chat saying that she'll like sue Louis for.
She could actually. She'll
sue.
grounds.
She'll sue Louis for harassment or something. I think she's gonna come back in some capacity. Maybe somebody else sues Louis for harassment, and then she comes back in favor of Louis
Right.
because of the way Donna fired her. Because of the most humane boss you could possibly have. Of like, I know you're not gonna believe me, but I genuinely wish you well.
Yeah.
What if she gets a job with Robert Zane?
Ooh.
Boom.
That would be
That'd be crazy because then it's like getting back at Rachel.
Oh.
that would be interesting. I think normally
I don't think he
that
would do that
happens.
to his daughter. He wouldn't know.
Well, no,
I mean,
that's
how
the
is
thing.
he gonna
wouldn't
know?
He
Normally-
wouldn't know. And
normally-
so, like she brings a suit. And
normally
just bam.
characters get jobs as Barbara Zane because they get shows on Sci-Fi.
So you.
Yeah.
So wait, you said Endgame. So you do think
Series
there's a
finale.
chance that Harvey and Donna will end up together?
Yeah, I think it's Harvey and Donna or Donna and Lewis. Or Donna by
I'm
herself
liking
because
Donna
she's
and Lewis,
awesome.
actually.
Or
Oh,
Donna
yeah,
by
true.
herself because she's a self-actualized person that doesn't need no man.
Story,
That don't
ew.
need no man. Like,
No,
That
she
is the
doesn't-
kind of woman has.
She doesn't need Harvey, but she loves Harvey. They have a history. They understand each other.
Right.
And even though, yeah, maybe it's not organic, it's not like, hi, nice to meet you, let's talk about our lives. Sometimes when you already know the person, you've seen them at their worst and their best, those are the relationships that work out. So I do think
But no,
they
I mean,
will be, there will be Darby at the end.
That's my point, though.
Cruising
in
into the
In the
sunset.
same way that like Paula and Harvey is like all wrong because like they're going off this fact that like, oh, I know you. Like that's a reason why
But that's
Harvey.
just, no, that's different. That's weird. That's
No,
just,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like just because it's convenient that they like know they're so close already doesn't make it a right fit like for them.
But Donna and Harvey know about each other. Harvey, I guarantee you, knows absolutely nothing about Paula except their sessions. And he said that. She's never actually seen her outside of the sessions until their 2 dates. One was at the dinner where she got up and left.
Right.
Because she's like, do you want to hear about me? And the second one was where he lied about having steak and then had to go to the grocery store to get steak.
so
Which,
I mean, yeah, but that was like a charming like.
no, it's charming, but I'm saying they don't know much about each other. She
will-
knows
Yeah,
about him,
that's-
not her.
Well,
not
that's why
him
I
about
think
her.
the start of a relationship.
That's why I think it's 5 more weeks because we're gonna have a lot of off-screen little nothings like this week to show that they're growing as a couple, to try to give us subterfuge to think, oh, this might actually work out. No, it's not going to work out. This is terrible.
Yeah. No, that's.
Like batten down the hatches. Harvey's breaking down. We're all too worried about Lewis because Lewis is literally breaking down. But Harvey, man,
All I know is I don't trust Alex.
that is
That
true.
you made that very clear. That was abundantly.
Do we have any other predictions
noted.
before we head on out of here?
I just don't
good.
trust Alex. That's my prediction.
So to my far left, Josh Rodriguez. People want to find you.
All right, listen, everybody. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Josh_Rodriguez_. If you have a problem with anything I said, you can hit me up. Let's get that. Come on.
Pimp those comments.
And I'm Lina Noory. You can find me on Instagram at Lina Noory and on Twitter at Lina Noory_.
Isn't there an Alex hate group that you run as well?
It's not
Where
a
can they-
hate
where can
group.
the
It's just
fans find that?
convenient that they just threw. It's like just
Yeah.
threw them right in.
Yeah.
Just put the guns away. You guys can find me, JB, at Hey John Blake.
And it's a subreddit. Alex is a hate subreddit. I'm Steve Kaufman. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufman. That is KAUFMANN. I do a lot of fun stuff here at AfterBuzz TV. I tweet about it regularly. I also do The Sober Year. It's thesoberyear.com. I'm spending 52 weeks not drinking alcohol, birthday to birthday.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Golf clap. Absolutely. I did not
My
know
birthday
that.
was June 1st. It's not been that long, but I appreciate your support.
That's almost 2 months, right?
Almost 2
Dude.
months. I'm getting there. But
Good for
you can
you.
check it out there.
do, man.
Thesoberyear.com will take you to that playlist.
And Steven doesn't trust Alex either. I'm just throwing it out there. Because everyone believes what Steven
She
says.
needs support.
She's obsessed.
I just don't trust
Again,
them.
the hate subreddit.
Thank you guys so much, and good night.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.